Going live, going live, going live, going live, going live, going live. We're live. We are live Friday, August 14th, 2020. We're 8 months into this awesome year. I am here. It's so awesome. I lost my background. It's just gone. I came in this morning. I don't even have a background anymore. It's just hardwood paneling and plywood. But I am here with my good friends, my co-host, Jen Lewis, and my good friend, Shannon Atchley. Guys, say hello and welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
I need a big favor from everyone. I see there's a few people on here. If you can hear us, I need you guys to talk for me and check their audio for them. So can you just, you guys both count down from 10 and let me know that you can hear them okay.
Shannon, you first.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I have to think about that.
That was good. Actually, that was
Holy
hard.
cow.
You got stuck.
Yeah.
You got off that.
Lord help us if you guys ever get pulled over. All right. So, well, nobody's letting us know, so we're just going to have to assume that everything is okay. Jen, maybe you can pop over there for a minute later, but we are here to talk about. So Shannon is a high school senior photographer based in Alabama.
Yes.
And her work is the work that she does with our high school seniors is just amazing. And she's a super duper busy photographer, and she continues to do just amazing work. But one of the things that really stands out about her is the styling that she does in these shoots. And, you know, a lot of photographers have asked, hey, you know, how does she do this? You know, how do you get these great styled shots? So she's going to kind of let us into her world today in her studio and kind of give us an idea of, you know, how she does what she does and, you know, kind of the thought process behind some of the images that she creates. Right?
Right. Well, if there is a thought process,
And I do have to say right from the get-go, apparently it's already Christmas in Shannon's studio already.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say that I'm ready for it. I'm ready for Christmas.
Same.
I'm also waiting for it to snow outside because we've had all kinds of storms, including a derecho we got the other day. I don't know what that is, but it was a fast-moving storm that took both of our umbrellas on the porch, and thankfully that was it.
Yeah, that's good. We've had a lot of storms here too. We've had like a lot of flooding where they've shut down our roads, like in our town and stuff. It's been insane. But you know, at this point, 2020, like the hurricane was the most normal thing to happen to us so far. So in North Carolina, like it's, you know, that actually I wasn't even like worried about it like I normally would be because I'm like, it's 2020. That's nothing. So,
Right.
you know, we just keep moving along. So yeah, Shannon is in Bryant, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So is that right, Shannon?
Yes.
Yeah. So how far are you from, because you're kind of out there in the middle of nowhere a little bit, or how far are you from a city?
I'm actually in the extreme northeast corner of Alabama, so I'm about a mile from Georgia and a mile from Tennessee. I'm like right in the corner. So Chattanooga, Tennessee is the closest bigger city to me. It's probably about 45 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So that's the closest place with an airport that you know, is Chattanooga.
Gotcha. How many seniors do you photograph each year, Shannon?
Probably about 50, 60, somewhere along that line. I haven't checked this year, but I would say, well, of course, it's been a crazy year.
Yeah.
But our seniors are all year, which it is pretty mild here. I can photograph seniors. Like, I never stop. There's no senior season. We don't really have a winter. I mean, we do. It'll get cold for a couple of weeks, but we hardly ever have a snow. I mean, so I photograph
Do you
seniors
need
December,
wholesale plastic
January,
bags?
February. It's not a big deal. We photograph all year. So, and the yearbooks, you know, we don't have yearbook deadlines. So I have a lot of 2000, actually, right at, you know, during COVID when they shut everybody down in March, I had probably 5 or 6 scheduled for, you know, that was a couple of weeks in March. So I do seniors all year. And I honestly have just finished up with the 2020s because everything got backed up so much. So now I'm shooting the 2021s. But so I haven't really checked, but I'd probably say about 50, 60.
Yeah. That's awesome. And you've been doing this for how long? How long have you been photographing seniors?
Well, I've been had a business for 14 years, and probably the seniors, I really started specializing in them about 10 years ago, maybe. Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. But again, I still shoot everything but weddings, but seniors just tends to be the thing that I do the most of. Everything else is just a little happy break to kind of try something new for a little while, but the seniors definitely is what I do the most of.
Yeah, your work stands out. Like when I see it on my feed, I don't even have to look at the name. Like
Oh,
I know your work every single time, and it's incredible. It
well,
really
thank
is.
you.
I love
Yours
it.
is too. Same to you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Jason, you can talk too, I guess. I'm sorry.
I'm okay. Maybe I'll just go grab a snack and
Get a drink.
and
We're
then
gonna
you're
hang
right.
out with that.
I'm kind of jealous to hear that you're shooting all year round. Um, I would not describe St. Louis weather as mild by any stretch. It is hot. Although we're supposed to get a break next week with the weather, you just never know what you're going to get as far as one day you wake up and it's 70 degrees, and the next day you wake up it's 85 degrees at 5 o'clock in the morning. So it's hard to. And then next week we're supposed to get a break. It's supposed to be in the 60s. So I like the change, but it would be nice to be able to shoot all year round. Can you talk a little bit? You mentioned that you shoot seniors all year round, and a lot of people have told me that their senior work is kind of seasonal, where there's like big stretches where they're just busy all the time. Is there a way that you keep it going all year round? Is there something that you do, or just that's how it works for you?
No, but I've always said, show what you want to shoot. So I'm constantly, I love winter months. I love it when all the trees are
Hmm.
kind of bare and you get that really neutral color everywhere. So fields are all, everything's kind of brown and neutral, but I like that. I think it's really pretty. So I show a lot of that. And when you show it, and especially when you get the say a field with the sun coming through the back, it looks almost like fall because the sunset is coming through those trees. You get that red glow. So you still have almost like a fall look, even though it's winter, the dead of winter, So, and we have fields are everywhere here. So we have that tall sagegrass everywhere. Like I
Mm.
said, you get them down in that, shoot it with the sun coming through the trees, it looks like fall.
Mm.
So my people, they really, and I'll shoot people while they're out on Christmas break. We just have, so it gives them a little bit more time to really get in there and get their session done. But because I show that, and if somebody messages me about a session, I go over that with them. I say, I always tell them, we can get good images in any month. It really doesn't matter. And I will show them examples of pictures that I've taken in January, and they're always like, yeah, that's, they love it, they're fine with it. Of course, you can also go shoot like in Chattanooga or a little city area, and of course it doesn't matter what season it is to get those images. But again, we don't have really, I mean, if we have a couple of days where it's in the 30s or 40s, we think we're dying, but and that's really not the normal. So it's
Right.
usually about 50, 60, something like that. So most people don't even wear a coat here. So you'll throw a sweatshirt on to go wherever you're going to go. And then, so absolutely, I don't really have any trouble though shooting year round because most people nobody thinks anything about it. And of course I have a studio and I always shoot studio before we go on to do the outside images. So because I have
Oh,
that,
okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
I always shoot studio with every session. And I tell them, and I do that mainly because especially it is humid here.
Okay.
Humid. We're around large bodies of water, and as soon as it's just so humid here. And I always tell the girls that your hair and makeup, it's never going to look fresher. It's never going to look better than it does in here because it's air
Mm.
conditioned. Well, it's actually hot here. It's hot here from April, even March until November. It is hot. So I don't have any trouble talking people into doing studio because they love the fact that of course, I've got the air on 69 right now. I mean, it's cool in here, and they like the fact that it's cool. Their hair always stays perfect, and really, I sell a lot of the enlargements are usually studio images because their hair is perfect. If you go
Mm.
anywhere near a body of water, the hair goes just, it's just like you can watch. It's like the hair just melts. So, absolutely.
Yeah,
Cool.
I do the same thing here. Studio is always the first location, and then they get two others that they get to choose
Right.
themselves. But yep, studio is always first. And I started doing that for the same reasons as you, but more by accident. I'm like, hey, it's 100 degrees outside. Let's get a couple pictures before you melt.
Right.
So I
Oh,
started getting a
before I
couple in the
melt.
studio. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, my hair goes, and it's just
I
sweat
hear ya.
everywhere. And all these people that are like, I want it to be summer forever. I'm like, well, you have not been to Alabama because you would not say that. And fire ant beds and snakes. We have copperheads. We have fire ants. We have every bug under the sun, mosquitoes everywhere. I'm like, summer can just go. I'm going to make it Christmas here. You can have your summer. You can have your ant beds and copperheads and everything else. And of course, everybody wants to be in a field, and there's copperheads everywhere.
Yeah. Well, I just decided I'm not coming to visit you until like late fall or winter.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I have a lot of snakes and stuff.
Jason, go ahead. Sorry.
No, there's plenty of snakes here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, we're like Copperhead Central here. It's like they're everywhere. So, and ant beds. You can't even you'll just be standing there and all of a sudden you're getting fire ants all over you. It's just, I hate it.
I did a shot a wedding in Florida about 10 years ago, and I sat on a fire ant bed, and I cannot tell you. All of a sudden, it was sudden, and then it was like my ass was on fire, literally. And I remember like just getting bit like. For like 5 minutes as I'm getting those things off, like my skin is starting to crawl just thinking about it, and I didn't know what it was. I was a city boy, so
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what just happened there. So anyway, that was pretty bad. So before we get started, I want to remind everyone that I have this fancy blue screen. There it is. Subscribe to our channel, please, right over there if you're joining us. We are trying to do this every week, and we have these great people that are here sharing their knowledge and information with us in a much more fun kind of informational way, easy to learn, easy. These are the perfect things for you to put on while you're doing your retouching work, or you want to, have some company. We're the perfect solution for that. We want you to join us for that and listen in. But I think if you are just kind of zoning out in the background right now, listening to us, you're going to want to switch back because Shannon's going to start showing us some stuff, and you want to kind of see this. So if you're zoning out, you're going to, before we also move forward, I have to say that, your hair looks great today. It looks like you've done something different to your hair today. It looks really nice. So I just wanted to mention that.
are you talking to Shannon?
They're talking to Shannon, yeah.
I don't think she's listening to you.
Oh, no, I thought he was talking to you because you got a haircut.
Oh, no.
No, I just curled it. Actually, I brought my curling iron to the studio. I was like, I better do something. So thank you, though.
Did she not like my compliment? Your hair looks nice too, Jen.
I think she was thinking about her images that you were mentioning that she was going to show, and she's like, "Oh,
Oh, yeah.
She was like, "Oh, I'm showing." Okay.
What am I showing? I didn't clean my style room, so.
No. So what I would like to do is I would love for Jason and I didn't actually talk about the show before we came on today. We normally chat a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah.
Where I would, if you have something handy on your computer, like your you had like the disco ball shot where you used if you have some stuff like that and can like show and talk about some of the stuff that you've styled, I would love to hear details on things like that. And I also, one of the reasons that I was excited to have you on, I'm being selfish here because I want to know stuff too. I would love for you to talk about like where you purchase stuff for your style closet and things like that. So like some good tips on stores and things. But if you want to talk about, I love that disco shot. That's like one of my favorites with the disco ball, and you use the little prism thing and all that.
That was one of my favorites too. I really love that. I don't have, I'm computer illiterate. I was just, I have, like I said, my husband, everybody in the family is a computer programmer. So I don't do anything. I just take my computer and say, fix it. If it freezes, I say, fix it, so I don't, how do I share a screen?
You can, Jason can tell you that, or I was going to say, I can find it if it's like on your website or something.
I was going to say that too. If you find it on the website, I can put it up on the screen.
Well, I have that PowerPoint. I have my PowerPoint that I used for sync, which has got pretty much all those shots on it.
I'm just going to say a quick sorry to the audience real quick. We didn't really prepare for this today, but we're going to make it through. That's, it's all good.
Or I could go to my Instagram because everything I've ever posted has been on my Instagram.
I can go to your Instagram page and do it that way.
Do it that way. That's
that.
Yeah, that will be the best way because I know every style shoot that I've ever done through the years is on Instagram, whereas the one that presentation, like my PowerPoint, it only had just a few. I know it had the disco ball, but yeah.
What is your Instagram?
Atchley Photography.
Okay.
Atchley.
All right, I can pull that up. I'm going to switch myself off of the screen while I work on this over here. You guys can talk.
Okay, we'll talk.
Okay. Yeah, ask me something. Get me talking because...
Yeah, so I would love to... You can go ahead while he's pulling that shot up. How much of that was in post and how much of it was what you actually shot? Like, did you add light leaks or anything like that, or was all that from your prism that you used?
A lot of it was the prism, but I did on some of, not all the images, but on a few of them, I did add some light leaks, and I really liked that. That really finished it off. So the majority was in camera. And I also added, I bought this little cheap thing from Amazon. I had the little strobe light that shot up onto the disco ball, so it was changing the colors. Nothing fancy, no fancy equipment. It was like a $16 little disco light that you'd have at a kid's birthday party. So I was shooting that. So that's what gave me a lot of the color. And then, of course, the prism was just, it was awesome. So
what am I looking for here? I'm sorry.
The disco shoot is... It's pretty far down because I did that back in the spring, and I'm a pretty prolific poster. Not as many as some, and during COVID I didn't post as much. But I know that was probably back in January or February, and it was before sync. Okay, it was back in the fall of last year, but it's this picture. Yeah, so it was like in...
She's wearing a yellow dress.
Yeah, September the 8th, 2019. She's actually got a yellow shirt on. But let me tell you,
8th, yeah.
My girls are awesome. Like, they're just awesome. Like, as far as the outfit, she came in that. She's great. Some of these girls, I pretty much start training them from the get-go when they first start. I set the bar pretty high. I let them know that, if you want to do extra stuff, you got to bring it, when you come. You've got to go all out with hair and makeup. And I also, like I said, show what you want to shoot. So I show over the top, and I show perfect, I don't mean perfect, but kind of like, everything is done right, because I want them to know that's what I expect from you. I expect you to come with hair and makeup. I expect you to come. This outfit has to be on point. Everything has to be perfect. So if you show that, you're not going to get those people coming for something like that with their clothes all in a duffel bag. You're going to get people that are striving to just, to get those shots. So that really helps, because it's not just me doing it. It's a team effort. It's me, it's her, it's all of us working together to get these great shots.
How much guidance are you giving them as far as what to bring? Like, if you're doing a shot like that, are you saying, I want bright colors? I want, what are you telling them when you're planning shots out in your head?
Well, it depends on the girl. For instance, this is a girl, I've been shooting her for several years. Honestly, I can tell her anything, and I don't even have to think a thing about it. I know she's going to come up, and she's going to have exactly what I want. She's going to really do awesome. If it's a girl that I haven't worked with as much and I don't trust, I'll just order the stuff myself. Honestly, even for my son's fiance that he just got engaged, for his fiance's engagement pictures, I literally went in there and ordered every single outfit for her. Didn't even ask her. I just sent her a text and said, this is what I got. This is where we're going. Of course, she knows me. She's like, okay, she doesn't care.
Right.
But so if I don't think that they're going to do it like that, then I do it and then I have it styled. I will order the dress. I have a huge style closet. I order dresses for my boys' girlfriends all the time. If they don't like them, I just stick them in there. So I have a big style closet, and my clients use it all the time. Had a girl come in the other night. She used 4 of my outfits. Those long, flowy maxi dresses, things like that. They don't buy those because they don't wear them regularly, so they don't have them. But they'll go in there and wear them all the time.
Yeah, that's how mine started. I was shooting in Vegas a couple of years ago, and I bought everything. Like, I mean, the girls brought some stuff, and I went over to their homes and like looked through their closets with them and said, "This is what I want you to bring," and the rest of the stuff I just ordered. So that's how my style closet started, was prepping for things like that, because like the boho styled stuff, they love it, but they don't buy it themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I started them young too, because I just did my Christmas set today, and I messaged one of a lady, and she's got like a 2-year-old daughter, and I was kind of hinting around. There's this like Strasbourg dress that cost $164, so I kept kind of hinting around that, boy, that's a nice, and she buys it.
Wow.
So next week she's going to come in with this 160. It's a gorgeous heirloom Strasbourg dress for this set. Bam, so they really. Yeah. You just have to guide them. She didn't care a bit to buy that dress. She was happy to do it, and she's excited because, the set's gorgeous. It's this gold. It's from Denny's. It's gorgeous. It's gold. I just happened to go to an antique store today and found a gold settee to match it. So I knew that this $164 Strasbourg dress would be perfect for her, and I knew her little girl would be perfect. So I messaged her. She buys it. Next week we're shooting it. It's going to be amazing. That really helps your images stand out when everything is perfect, when everything.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, so you work with them, they work with you, and it's just a joint effort. Everybody's working toward one goal, which is to have the best pictures that you can have.
Yeah.
And it works.
So JJ has a question. She is asking, what would you suggest for good starter pieces and accessories for a closet?
Starter pieces, I would go, which honestly, I don't know if Forever 21 is still. I ordered some stuff, but it was during COVID. It was maybe April, and they had some great pieces. And I ordered like 3 dresses. They were gorgeous, but they never shipped them. Now, they were great to give me my money back because it had been like 6 weeks and they hadn't shipped those dresses. So I told them, they gave me my money back. But the most popular maxi dress that I have came from Forever 21. Some more good companies. When I ordered Stephanie, my son's fiance, all her clothes came from a store called Lulu's. They were beautiful, and they weren't very expensive. I have ordered from that Joe Folly, which I paid like $118 for this really long flowing maxi dress. Nobody ever picks that dress. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
Nobody picks it, but they picked this Forever 21 $26 dress. And what's weird is I would think that people would not want to wear the same dress that other people have worn. They don't care. They will put that. They don't care because that's their pictures. But they'll wear that dress. And because it was like $20-something, I let them get in the creek with it, the river. I don't mind because it was so inexpensive. I also go to Goodwill, thrift shops. I get those maxi dresses all the time. I also watch the Facebook page when sometimes these girls will buy things just for a shoot with me. And then they'll turn around and sell it for $5. So then I buy it. And so we'll use it again for a shoot. Hats. I've had girls just give me hats, those floppy hats. I have a ton of those. I get those from Amazon. Every girl thinks that she doesn't like a hat until you put a hat on her. They love the hats. And the moms love the hats. The girls do too. They always love them. So some starter pieces would definitely be the floppy hats. I have them in almost every color, or any kind of hat. A couple of maxi dresses in different sizes. And those, what do you call those things? The lacy things that's like a
kimono, or
yes, those things are awesome. Girls love those, and you can mix. I have a black one, I have a white one. Also little crop tops, like the little black crop tops. Get those in different colors because you layer those. Of course, I have tanks. I have bras. I have bralettes, things like that. But the thing that people use the most are probably the maxi dresses. Yeah, because they love the look, but they just don't have them in their closet.
Yeah.
So, and I love them.
Yeah. So you mentioned a couple of, Forever 21, that's where most of my closet has come from.
Love it.
I do love that. Do y'all have Plato's Closet there for the like
We
used,
do.
yeah,
We
gently
do.
used stuff. I
I
get a
don't.
lot of stuff from there.
It's 45 minutes. It's like a 45-minute drive for me to go to town, so I'm not in there
Yeah,
enough. But we have a Goodwill. We have one of the best Goodwills around. I mean, I go
that's
in that
awesome.
Goodwill and find something almost every time. In fact, when I leave here, I haven't been to the Goodwill in 2 weeks. I'll probably go, and then I'll come out with a big bag.
Yeah.
Half my clothes come from the Goodwill, so I get a lot from. No joke. I
It's
get a
so
lot.
funny. Goodwill is huge here too. Whenever it's like time for a costume or something like that, we'll come up with it. So, by the way, I did figure out how to get your Instagram feed on the screen. So I do have that shot up. I just transitioned the screen. You guys can't see it, but our listeners can. And she's wearing a yellow top with a yellow headband and some sunglasses and a disco ball behind it with a prism or some sort of. It looks like you did a lot of this in camera, which is amazing.
Right.
And this is a really neat shot. So I'm sorry to make you go through it again. So walk us through how. Well, so first of all, we're talking about styling. So let's concentrate on the styling first, as
Okay.
far as where did you get that disco ball? Blah blah blah.
Amazon, everything cheap on Amazon. The disco ball was probably the whole setup was just cheap. I mean, I have have boxes stacked in my style closet, and they're like disco, urban, you know, jungle, and that's like my jungle-y type theme things. Animal prints. I have boxes just set up in a steampunk. I have a steampunk box. So whenever anybody wants something that's that style, we just pull the box and there you go. We've got that style. So, with Sync, I did Safari. I loved that
Mhm.
one. Now they actually bought those. I don't have anything Safari. I kind of can Safari jungle theme. That kind of goes together. But most of they all bought that. I did buy a headpiece, which sometimes I just overpay for things. Like the headpiece, I paid like $118 for that headpiece, and the girls didn't even really like it. It was cute though. I thought it was cute, but they didn't really care for it. So, but my girls are not big on the headpieces, the floral headpieces. It's like I see other people do them, and they look amazing. And when my
Mhm.
girls put them on, it just looks like, what is that on your head? And I think my girls feel that way too because they put them on and they're like, they never say, and I have just not mastered the floral headpiece. I don't know if it's that or if it's just that in my area it's not that, I don't know. But I can't ever seem to get the floral headpieces. But, or headpieces of any sort. My girls just are not big into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the colors in your disco image, like with the yellow and her yellow headband. Like that's just it's so cute. But so that was just you said you had a disco, like a little disco light shining on the disco ball. See, I'm asking because I have a box in my foyer right now. I just ordered a 24-inch disco ball. And I also ordered a 24 pack of 2-inch disco balls. I have stuff in my head. I'm gonna try to, but I love that you were talking about shining the disco light onto the disco ball to get those colors.
Right. Which
That's super cool.
And I only knew this because I had one of my boys when he was turning like 7 or 8. I had this big disco party, like everybody dressed up. It was really fun. And I had ordered all that same stuff for his disco party. So I remembered to get the little lights and stuff like that. But yeah, but it turned out really good. There wasn't a lot of.
Sorry, how much of that is like in your head before? Because like for me, what I do is I start with a more simple idea and then I build on it. So like when I'm creating something styled, like I don't have usually the end product in mind necessarily. I start with something simple and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to try this. And what if I add this and that kind of thing? So how much of it do you have in your head before you start?
And there's nothing in my head ever. I really wake up one day and think, today I want to decorate for Christmas. I want to do a Christmas shoot. Bam, I get here, and honestly, my people know me. If I get on there and say, looking for a 2-year-old girl to come here in 1 hour in this, they get here, because they know that mood's going to pass. In 2 hours, the mood is gone. Christmas will be gone. It's gone. So, but... yeah, no, I will get really into the mood, and it just comes to me like an hour prior to when I'm going to do. Well, that I had to actually, of course, order the stuff.
Right.
So, and then after I use it one time, it's just like, oh, put it up and never use it again. I'm really bad about that. But no, there's no thought of the finished product. I just kind of tend to think, oh, well, that'll work and that'll work. And I have so much stuff in my studio to pull from. Even like today, I started working on these Christmas sets. I had walked out the door with no idea what I was going to do. So I get here and I start throwing things together. And I don't know. I think the fates just like the shine down on me today, because I seriously went through. I was looking at this one drop. And I was like, I need a gold settee. And where do you just find that? It's hard to find. Go to a thrift shop and there's one. There is one. I'm like, are you kidding me? Thank you.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Well, you got to put it out there, right? So
Oh yeah, and if you put it out there, people love to help you. People tag me all the time, and anytime somebody puts something for sale, a settee, a piece of furniture, they're always tagging me, because people really are. I feel like the majority of the people are kind and helpful, and they want people to succeed. And my whole community is always just being kind and good. So I don't know. I feel like, as with anything, there's so much more to being successful than just you. Just like my girls. The styling, sometimes, yes, I give them some direction, but my girls are awesome. They will go in there and do above and beyond for anything.
I'm gonna pull
I
up
can't take all the credit.
while we're talking. I'm gonna pull up one of your steampunk shots and put that on screen.
No, I did do that one. That one was all me. Like, I seriously planned that one for about a month. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so I can see they're wearing black hat with those steampunk goggles and fishnet these things.
Yeah.
Gloves. Black.
Gloves.
What I really love is the dress and the jacket that she's wearing, and then the whatever is that part of the dress that's kind of connecting.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. So you put all that together?
I did. I bought all that stuff. I have a huge steampunk setup in here, the box. And of course, that's one of those things I'm going to use, once or twice. I've only, once or twice being once. I think actually maybe I have used that twice. But I really did enjoy that. And I'll do that one again. I just haven't yet, but no, I actually spent a lot of money on that one, because just that burgundy jacket that you're talking about, it came from Amazon, and what was funny is I actually saw somebody wearing that jacket at imaging, like for real, like a photographer was wearing. I was like, oh my gosh, that's one steampunk jacket, but it was expensive. It was about $70.
Okay.
So to me, that was expensive for one piece, but it really did make a big difference.
So, Shannon, how much of your, like, when you're putting this stuff out there, how often do you get seniors who come in and they're like, I want to do this look for me? Or do they just see that and want to do something completely different because they know you're creative? Like, does that make sense?
Nobody ever wants that stuff. Like, that stuff, and this is what I've always said, I don't pay for marketing at all. But when I do this stuff, everybody in the community talks about it. For instance, I bought the Cheetos dress from Forever 21. It was like $22. I threw that set together, and so basically I got a girl in a Cheetos dress. The pictures were very pretty. Of course, has anybody ever come in there and asked to wear that Cheetos dress? No. But do you know they still talk about the Cheetos dress? They talk about it all the time. I did years ago. This has probably been, my son was the one lifting her in the water, and he was like a junior, and he graduated college. So it was about 7 years ago. We did the Dirty Dancing theme. Nobody comes in wanting a theme shoot, but still, you don't even know how many people that I have done sessions for because of that. So I don't look at theme sessions as something that anybody is going to want or pay me for. I look at them as, hey, that's my marketing. Just like the Cheetos dress, that everybody was talking about that because everybody loved it. Like, they'll come up to me, oh my gosh, the Cheetos sheet, blah, blah, blah. But did anybody ever want to wear it?
Let me pull up the Cheetos dress. That one had to be really, really popular. All right, I gotta switch off the screen, and I remember seeing it and being like, "Where do you get a Cheetos dress?" As a matter of fact,
Forever 21.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So I think I remember asking Jen, like, "Where do you get a Cheetos dress?" All right, here.
Yeah, and it's not been worn. I think I did. Somebody wore it in imaging, but again, I don't do those kind of shoots. I do those shoots for me. I do them for marketing. That's purely marketing because it gets people talking, not because anybody's ever going to steampunk. Nobody has. I even my steampunk stuff is awesome, like great. I couldn't even get Tanner's girlfriend to wear it as a Halloween costume. I'm like,
Mm.
really?
Oh wow.
You are set. You are set to be the best steampunker ever. And she wouldn't even wear it to Halloween. She went down there and got a tourist costume from Walmart. I'm like, really? You got a $200 steampunk outfit with everything you need, but you're going to go get a straw hat from Walmart and go as a tourist.
I was going to ask,
So
what is a tourist costume in what is a tourist costume?
they just go get a Hawaiian shirt and a straw hat from Walmart. No joke, that's what they did, and like a straw bag. And I'm
Uh,
like, you could have been this amazing steampunk person. Couldn't even talk her into wearing it. It's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, but again, you know, and you ask about how do ideals come to me, or well, you didn't ask just then, but we were talking about that, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just like anything, like Halloween's coming up, and I'm actually going to be mentoring somebody around Halloween. So I got, I'm like, well, hey, let's do Halloween, because I've never done Halloween. Everybody else has done Halloween, but I haven't. So my girls are so great, and that's why I was saying they're so great. I mentioned Halloween to one of them, and her mom has already just sent me so many pictures. I don't know, Maleficent, when that was coming out
Oh
last
yeah.
year, and
Yeah.
I just was like, I messaged a couple of the girls, do you want to do Maleficent? The girls went and bought all that stuff for Maleficent. They bought the Queen,
Wow.
there's two, the young girl, the Queen, and Maleficent. They looked amazing. So
Wow.
sometimes I buy it, sometimes I split it with them, yeah, but it all works out in the end. You know.
it
Yeah.
Oh, I,
always does. Yep. Yep. Jen, is there anything else I should pull up here? Other images? And of course, as you guys know, if we have quite a few people watching right now. If you have questions on any of these, or if you go to Shannon's Instagram feed, which is Atchley Photography, Instagram.com, Atchley Photography, and you see an image that you'd like to hear her talk more about, please just tap in that chat box and let us know. You got to hit subscribe first and then hit the chat. I'm kidding. You just ask your questions away. Ask questions away, and Shannon would be happy to hear it. So okay, Jen, is there one I can pull up that that
Um,
do
I
some of the shoots, the actual model shoots, because like I love the model shoots, love them. This year, the one I did in spring was just kind of lame because you couldn't do it as a group because of COVID. So basically, I said, so whatever, just come whatever you want to do. But I've done some that I really love, like the preppy one was a really good one.
that was awesome. And
I loved preppy. My girls, and they're preppy here, so they love preppy. They loved Easter one year, and they all did like the Lily Pulitzer dresses, and they had Easter baskets. They loved that one. We did, of course, camping. We did American Horror Story when that came out on it was the Camp 1984, whatever that was. I didn't watch it, but I knew it was coming out. So that basically hit you with two styles at the same time, because you got your vintage 80s with the terry cloth shorts, but then you also got your Halloween aspect in it with the Friday the 13th references. That was a good one. Everybody loved that one. But they loved preppy.
what has been your favorite, Shannon?
Of all the model shoots,
Yep.
oh gosh, I really, really did love the Easter one, because the girls just looked so pretty in their pastels and their Easter baskets, and they all had the Lily Pulitzer. It was so cute. Oh, Kentucky Derby! I loved Kentucky Derby because they all had to. So again, it was kind of similar to Easter. They had the Lily Pulitzer dresses, but they all had to wear a hat, like a Kentucky Derby hat. And then they had to make a sign, like the chalk signs. And my girls are good; they're creative. Their signs look like professional. So they all had to pick a horse, and this was like 2 or 3 years ago. So they all had to pick a horse, and the winning horse. So it actually turned into a little bit of a bet. Whoever picked the winning horse got like a $50 off of their session. But it was a little fun.
That's
But
cute.
they looked so beautiful. Anything when you put a bunch of Southern girls in pastels, and it's just a win. But I do love preppy too. And if you look at my preppy shoot, my moms and my girls are so awesome. I show up for the preppy shoot, and first of all, I didn't really do anything for that one other than say it's going to be preppy. They looked amazing. But sitting there is this car, and it's this preppiest, like tan. I don't know what it is, but it's like an antique car, but it's low and it's a convertible. I don't know what it is, but it's like the preppiest car you've ever seen. They literally had this car sitting there waiting on me. I'm like,
Mhm.
really? Thank you.
That's
When I
awesome.
when I did American Horror Story, my moms are so great that we went to this old abandoned place like across the river. They
Mhm.
actually had a boat sit there. They took us over there in the boat. You know,
Mhm.
they found the location. They took us over in a boat. I'm telling you, if you work with your people, they will just go out of their way to make things good for you. And so I can't take credit for a lot of that just because so many people will just like that old car. I had
Mhm.
nothing to do with that car being there. It just showed up in my lap. Sometimes I think things just show up in my lap. I like myself too today. I didn't know to go look for it. It just was there.
Yeah,
But I
that's
always take
awesome.
advantage. I do know to take advantage when it does pop up. But that one I loved.
I'm looking at, I have on screen right now, it looks like a model shoot that you did. It's a Christmas set. It was a long time ago. It was 104 weeks ago. So however
Yeah.
long that was.
Is it Santa? And it has the naughty and nice girls.
No, they're wearing like scarves. It's a little preppy. That's why I stopped on it. There's like an old pair of skis and deer antlers and
Oh, that was like a Ralph Lauren.
yeah.
Anything
Oh,
Ralph
Ralph.
Lauren.
Okay, yeah, Ralph
Yeah, that was
Lauren.
my
Yeah.
Ralph Lauren
Okay.
inspired. And honestly, anything Ralph Lauren preppy, it's always going to be a favorite. That wasn't a model shoot. That was just I was testing out my Christmas set. I
Okay.
absolutely love that. Still one of my favorite Christmas sets. One year though, I did one that was so cute, and I actually started doing Santa sessions, and I had Santa here. So I got all the girls a T-shirt, and like half of them had a naughty shirt and half had a nice. So like when we did the shop with Santa, half the girls were in their naughty shirts and half the night nice. And Santa was really good to like give them the side eye if they were naughty, and it was super cute. And we of course added magic to it. It was really, honestly, the safari shoot that I did to Sync was probably one of my favorites too. I printed an album of those, and they're just beautiful. And I still see a lot of people are still posting those pictures, and I just think those girls. Now we did style those pretty meticulous, and I think that they just killed it. They knocked it out of the park. I loved everything
Yeah.
about those.
And I'm also looking at like we're talking about styling. There's a girl with tennis balls, green tennis balls around her, and a tennis racket. She's got her head, and you're shooting above her. She's on the ground. She's holding a tennis ball up, and
Right.
it.
Yeah, and that was probably a regular senior shoot, right, Shannon?
No, actually, I was mentoring, and that
Oh,
was one
okay.
of those. And when I'm mentoring, I usually just tell the girl, what do you? Because I give the girls like, what do you want to do? She's a tennis player. She's a
Hmm.
really good tennis player. So we were just mentoring, and I was shooting out in sun. So no, that was just a hey. We're going to come down here while I'm mentoring. So, what do you want to do? Why don't we do tennis? And she did tennis. So, that wasn't
But I
really
think
planned.
yeah. But I think this is a really good example of where you used your styling skills to really create a dynamic image because it's very impactful when you look at it, especially when you're scrolling through your Instagram feed and you just took something very simple that a photographer that I worked for many years ago, he used to say simple things photograph beautifully. And here you had a situation where you say you're shooting in the sun, you made it very flat, and you used the tennis balls and you created a great composition from something very simple. And that stark blue tennis court background, and it's a great shot. Different angle, shooting from above her, right, and down on that. But this is where you put your styling skills to use in a situation where you needed to create something out of nothing. Anyway.
But again, I didn't even know that tennis court was blue. I can't take any credit for that. It's just the fates shine down on me. I don't know. It's just like, I'm not taking credit for that
Listen,
because
folks. Listen, folks. This is not how it works. It's because I'm gonna New York on her a little bit. It is because she works hard at her styling that she was able to like, whoop, let me pull something out of here, right?
Well, and I do agree with that. Like I can pull some, just like today. I come up, I work hard at buying pieces all along. That it is nothing for me to. Sometimes girls show up, like if I'm mentoring and somebody's here, and I'll have a model come in. I'll just tell them, Donna, you don't even have to bring clothes. So we go in there. 5 minutes later, they come out. They're styled beautiful because I can do. We can just throw something together. I have so many good pieces. I'm constantly looking for things, so it's not hard at all. I can pretty much style anything at this point because I have enough stuff in there. So if but of course, I always want to shoot something different. The
Mm.
girls, they always, my girls want to see something different. So we are always pushing it, trying to do something different, trying to come up. My new, and sometimes I don't even think about the theme. I'm just sitting, like I was mentoring the other day, and we were sitting there talking about, she was asking me, how do I come up with styles? How do I come up with shoots? And I was telling her, well, you just pay attention to what, and of course I have young adults that's still at the house, and what are they watching? What are they paying attention to? And honestly, last year, my son just happened to mention American Horror Story was doing that Camp 1984. And as soon as he said it, it clicked. Okay. And I don't give myself a minute to double think or think twice about it. I immediately go to my model group and I'll type in and say, what do you think about this? And the girls are like, bam, bam, bam. They love it. And so it happens just immediately. And so I was doing that the other day. And what's popular now? Yellowstone. Those ranchers, all that look, that's very popular. It's like the number one show on Netflix, I think. We are set. We are covered up with that stuff here. So I got on my fit model group. What do you think about a Yellowstone shoot? And the girls are all like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's not just a lot of thought process in it, but it's what is trendy right now. So I just pay attention to that.
How about, so I saw, I think I found a couple of your model shoots. What about this boxing shot? The girl's wearing boxing shorts and it looks like a boxing
Honestly,
ring.
that would have been such a good shoot. And it was during COVID. It was planned like for March 23rd. And the theme was the song. And I don't know, I'm not that cool, but the girl is Haley somebody and the song is Most Girls. And so the thing is, she's on a simple like thunder gray background. They all have t-shirts that describe an empowering word. And then like there's a glamour girl, there's a boxer, there is a artist, there is, and it's basically saying every girl is special. So all my girls were to make a t-shirt with that word. We were going to do it on thunder gray that would look just like it did in the video. And then there would be breakouts of what was special to them. So I had a boxer, I had a glamour girl, I had,
Okay.
everything like that. It would have been so cute, but because of COVID, I couldn't do a group shot, so I couldn't really tie it together.
Okay.
And so, I mean, that was one that I wish, but we still got some great shots. The boxer shot was
Yeah,
good. We
boxer
got
shot is great.
Yeah, the glamour girl was a really cute one. I mean, we had a bunch of great images from it. It just didn't tie together like it should. So basically, at that point, I was just like, okay, let's just do floral. And, so they all did like a floral look. And we got some good images, but COVID really it's messed up group shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
COVID is messing everything up.
Yes, absolutely.
Amen.
I see that so there's one black and white shot that you did 3 weeks ago that you posted, and it's she's wearing like a white dress with, I think, roses in her hair. I mean, out of most of your shots are very colorful, and this one just stands right out. What was your reasoning behind that? It just was that look you were looking for, or
Um, no reason. I will say that, let's see. I don't, it was probably because, yeah, the white dress and the rose. Honestly, no reason, but I really did like the shadowing a little bit more, and I thought it was a little bit more dramatic. Of course, she's broad lit, and I do look at that and think, and people, I actually had people message me, "Did you mean to broad light her?" and,
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
Are
"Oh,
you
somebody
kidding me?
noticed." No, but I mean, they were in a nice way, and I was just like, "Somebody noticed," because that was my first thought when I looked at the image. It bothered me. I was like, "But she's very slim.
Yeah.
It worked for her because she's got a slim face." And I love the image. And I always, even when I mentor, I'm like, there's no right or wrong. Broad lighting's not wrong.
Right.
Short lighting's not right. Either way, but I personally tend to short light most of the time. So it was just an image that I don't know why I was drawn to that one, even though to me it's not normally the way I would shoot. And I don't know why I liked it black and white. I just tried it and thought, And it may have been because it was so out of what I normally shoot. Just that little bit of the turn of her chin and turning away from the light, it was so not my normal. And maybe that's why I made it black and white. I don't know. Maybe it was because if I'd made it color and made it look like I normally make everything look, it was just off to me. But I still loved it. It was my favorite. And she's got a bunch of beautiful images, but that one was my favorite. And that just tells you can't always, you can never just say this way is the way. I mean, there's always going to be a time when the rules, are just not going to work, or that's not even a rule, but just it kind of breaks you out of your comfort zone, and that did.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Oh, could we be seeing something maybe foreshadowing to a new style that Shannon is working on?
No. No, that was just, again, everything Shannon does is basically just a happy accident,
Oh my gosh, not a happy accident.
I know. I've never seen someone with work so perfectly consistent and incredible who's like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
No, I mean, I do know what I'm doing, and I don't mean it to sound like that, because I absolutely know, all the time what I'm doing. But it just feels like, I do feel like, man, I'm lucky. I'm lucky I got that gold settee today. I'm lucky I have such good girls. I guess it's more of an appreciation of all the good that comes my way. So it's not that I don't, and I do. I know what I'm doing, and I work hard. So maybe
Right.
that's why you get lucky, is because you work hard.
You work hard and you have experience. I mean, I think that's what I think sometimes, because you and I have been in business about the same. I've been 13 years, so I'm a little shorter than you, but like, I think after a while, we don't have to think about stuff as much. and
Okay.
and so sometimes it feels like it's an accident, but I think it's some of it's just experience.
You're probably right, but I always appreciate it. I always appreciate my girls. I appreciate my moms. I appreciate the thrift shop that just put out the gold settee. So I never take anything for granted, or I always just am very appreciative of everything, because, I don't know. And I'm appreciative of everybody that tags me in a post on Facebook, and I go pick up these great couches and stuff. People don't have to do that, and it's really, really kind. And, so yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
JJ is asking, what is your primary shooting lens?
I am kind of even in studio. I have this really long studio, and so my favorite is the 7200. I just love it. I love that compression. I love shooting it at 200. Love it. I do have an 85. My least favorite, I should shoot with the 85 if I want to go, wider than 2.8. The 50, I'm not really a fan of. And then I really love my wide angle, for especially even when I do a model shoot, I do try to do some wide angle shots too. But I find that most of the time, what really is selling for me is the shots, the traditional focal length, more so than the wide angle. They like the wide angle for your out there. You're like airplane, your big sky. I call them big sky shots. Your big sky shots, of course, they want the wide angle, but I don't typically sell the big sky shots as an enlargement on the wall.
Right. So Heather is asking, can you talk about the best way to style in-studio shoots using backdrops? Is there a key to making a backdrop look realistic using additional props, or the best way to blend the backdrop to the floor?
Absolutely. Now, I'm really picky about, backdrops in the floor, and I'm picky about how I shoot a backdrop. When I shoot a backdrop, and the Freedom Cloth backdrops, they are amazing. I love them. They last forever. They are great quality. I love everything about them. But I keep the light off of them. I don't light the backdrop, because and I always say the detail is made in the shadows. And that's the same, as with a person, but it's the same with a backdrop. If you put too much light, you are washing the drop out. You're making it look flat. If you keep the light off the drop, you're giving it some texture. And that's what I go for with the backdrop. And that's why my backdrops always look rich. It's because I'm keeping that light off of them. And again, I'm shooting even in studio, probably with the 7200. So I'm getting a lot of compression. I'm getting a lot of, my background is just, I think it really makes a difference in how your background looks. And I do shoot pretty wide in studio sometimes. I mean, it just depends. And the floors, I'm a big fan of buying the roll-up floor to match the drop. I think that makes the biggest difference. Like, they have a floor for almost everything. They have a floor that, so if your floor coordinates well with your drop, it's pretty seamless. And those floors last forever. So that's an investment to me that, that's just a no-brainer, especially if you can catch one on sale or something. They just make the entire set look so much more just good. I don't know, what word am I looking for, but they just make everything look good. They make it look real and perfect, and they just make it Right.
Do you use the baseboard on the bottom of your backdrops to kind of make it look more realistic with the floor, or no?
I don't. I actually have a baseboard like from Lowe's that I put under the backdrop just to make it very seamless. Like I hang them and then I clamp them really good, and I, have a really seamless look. So I don't use a baseboard for that. I
Okay.
usually just have got it to so it's all flush with the floor.
Right.
But no, I'm not so worried about the backdrop. And usually, sometimes I have props and stuff around it. That's not anything that's really ever bothered me. And two, I have usually something in front of it, couches. I rarely ever shoot it just straight on without something there. And as
Okay.
far as props, of course, I want the props to kind of match the background, and I'm not too proppy. I really am not. Don't have a really cluttered look. I mean, if you see this set, you're probably thinking, oh, yeah, you do. But Christmas, so Christmas, you kind of have to do a little extra. Whereas with my seniors, it's basically I just put up a drop. I keep it simple. And I always ask them, I have a little book, a spiral bound book with pretty much all some of my favorite shots, a lot of my backgrounds. We flip through it, and I can kind of get an idea if they like more of a traditional look. Do they like, I call it a proppy look, which is your backdrops that are a little bit more proppy, or like a seamless look, which would be paper or that just a solid color freedom cloth. So I pretty much talk to them, and I can get a feel right off the bat what they like. Most people just say they don't care. So if they don't, and which I've said for years, this Soho ivory, you can't see it, but it's behind the Christmas drop. It's actually nailed to the wall. I use it almost every single, and for my next Christmas, I do like 3 Christmas sets. I'm actually going to use that and nail some of those archways, the white farmhouse look to the wall with my white couch. So I'm going to make a farmhouse look, but some drops are just so basic, not basic, but so classic that they look like walls. So any drop that kind of looks like a wall, a brick wall, they love all those.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to come to your studio one of these days.
I better start cleaning now because I'm like a chaotic. When I start shooting like today, I mean, stuff is flying everywhere. There's boxes. There's snows everywhere. It's insane.
There is a reason I have a backdrop behind me every week now.
Ah.
So I don't have to worry about the chaos that is behind it.
Yes,
so,
yes, same.
Yeah, because I've been shooting every day, and it's just, and I don't ever clean up because I'm just shooting again, the next day.
Right, exactly. I'm going to leave these Christmas drops up all weekend, and yeah, I'm not going to clean it up. So yeah.
I don't even bother. It's just straight like I'm in the woodworking shop right now. So I'm just sitting here scrolling through your images as you're talking so people can get an idea of your work a little bit more. The variety of backgrounds and different places that you shoot in it's crazy. I see in a lot of your shots in the studio, you have these wicker chairs. They look great for all kinds of different shoots. You change the backgrounds up. Sometimes you shoot with a long lens and you blow out the wicker in the background. So you can see, as we're talking here, you can go through some of these images, that you use in the studio. I have to say that one of my favorite images is of the girl, and I have it on screen now, of the girl with the basketball in the late evening, and I absolutely love the lighting that you did on this. And it looks like you used a wide angle lens, and it's just a great shot.
Is she outside?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the one on that it's green ground, right?
Yeah, I got it. This one, yeah, that one probably.
Yeah.
No, it's the one. I'm only guessing because I can't see the one Jason pulled up. It's
this one.
A couple seconds behind. Yep, that's the one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that was actually from a mentoring session too. No, we did that at 11 o'clock during the day because the whole purpose of it was to, show people that you can shoot full sun. You can shoot at 11 o'clock in the day when it was hot. It was May. I was actually going to film that shot because I was doing a video, and I was going to film that. But it was so hot. It was just miserable. And I was like, I'm not asking a videographer or anybody to come. And I don't want to be laying on that because I had to get down there and lay on the ground to get that shot. I was like, it's too hot. So, and that was in May, and it was already probably 100 degrees. But yeah, that shot, and I almost didn't edit that shot because now I'm pretty uptight about things just have to be just so, and that had way too many power lines in it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that drove me crazy. So I almost didn't edit it. It wasn't even my favorite, but it was the most liked picture I had on Instagram last year. Like by far, I think it had like 1,233 likes, which was, a lot for me.
Yeah.
So it was really odd, but I did end up loving the shot. I mean, and that's another thing. That's more of a theme picture. Did that girl, she didn't even make that picture her profile picture. Not only was it not her favorite, it wasn't even her favorite for her profile. You know what she picked for her profile? It was a very simple one in some trees, because those shots, she probably will never do anything with that shot. But was it talked about? Did people love it? Absolutely. And that's why you do those. And again, that was one I told her to wear, basically that outfit. She's another one that, she's really good. If you just tell her, bring this. She's the boxer girl too. And her mom is great. You tell them, we're going to do this. And I promise you, they are going to come loaded. They are going to come, hair's going to be perfect. But again, to me, it's all about setting a standard of, if they know that's what you expect, that's what you get. If you're just like, oh, whatever, then they're going to show up looking like whatever. And I mean, they're going to show up with a duffel bag of wrinkled clothes. But I will say it, and I will say it nicely. I'm super nice. I think they all like me. But I'll just be like, girl, that is not going to work. You're going to have to do, but I say it in a nice way. And my girls, I think, trust me. They trust me to know that I want to have the best images that we can have. And if, so we're in this together, let's do this. And I don't know. I don't have problems with these girls not bringing it when they come. I mean, they really do every time. And I've got the best group of girls ever. I'm so proud of them because they never let me down. I mean, I won't say never, but knock on wood. But they really are. They're great.
That's really sweet. Okay, so we're about an hour in. I think I want to stay on the shot just a little bit more. Can you just talk a little bit? Well, and I know that I think we've talked about this shot before, but I have to go back to the fact that I think what really makes it work so much is the fact that you did leave in all the wires and all the stuff, because it makes it look just that much more grittier, which I think really lends itself to the shot. But again, midday, talk to us about the lighting. Am I to assume that the sunlight is what's hitting the back of her hair right here?
Yes.
And then you're filling it in with just some raw light?
No, well, actually, the light is hitting her to the back of her hair, and I have my light, of course, I did the Sunny 16 rule, so we go out there. I know that I do 200, 16 as my aperture. I know that's going to get me a good exposure. Then I know that I'm going to need my light, my AD 600 at full power. And for this one, which, Michael's great, Michael Mowbray's great. So basically, I was doing this type of shot, but I was using my big old soft Octabox, and I was getting not this punchy look. So after sync, I messaged him like, what do I need? Because I need something. I want it to look a little punchier. So he told me to get the Mothro reflector. That I think that's he kills me. I always butcher the names of everything, but I think that right. Okay, Mothro reflector. Love that thing. So that's what I was using, which I think he'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think it gives you a 1 1/2 stop more power. So I don't even know if I was at full power because I was using that punchier long throw reflector, but that was the modifier I used with that. And I just love the results because it gave me just that punchier look and what I wanted. And so it was great.
Okay. So, but but no soft stuff on it, just a
no, it's just a yes, yeah, no, it's just that long throw reflector.
Metal reflector.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. And there's a lot of times, even with my 600 at full power, when it's really bright outside like that, you just can't seem to get enough power from your light. But that's it.
Okay.
And love that thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And it just gave me just that punchy look that I was looking for. Mm-hmm. And
yeah. So what other people have called it a parabolic. what it does is it kind of concentrates that light into one, like it's like sunlight coming down like a beam.
Right.
And that's what creates that. Yeah, that is one of those tools that isn't used that often, but in the right situation in the middle of the day, that is the perfect reflector to use, and is a great tool. Everyone that's listening right now should just go and order from Michael Mowbray right now.
You really should. I love that thing.
Jen's going to put a link to it at some point, right in the chat box here. And,
it's one of my favorite modifiers, and it just gives you just enough of the punchiness, just what you want for a shot like that edgy look.
Yeah, and I think something like this takes a little bit of practice to get it right, especially balancing that out. Because you notice the sunlight is what's hitting her hair, and that is her exposure. That's what she exposed for there, and then she fills everything else in, which allows her to get that background a little bit darker. And then she's got to come in with all that light. And the last question that I'll have, which I think which is also important, like where are you distance wise away from her face? Like, are you close, like just outside of frame? Or are you pretty far away?
I'm pretty sure that was a wide angle lens, and I'm laying on the ground kind of in front of her.
Oh, good
so,
point. Okay.
And because I'm low, that's another reason when I shoot a shot, I had her turn her head up and look away, not for added drama, but mainly because if she had looked at me, her eyes would have been looking down and they would have been a little shaded, and I wouldn't have gotten the light in her eyes exactly like I wanted.
Yeah.
So by having her look up and I just love the shadowing on her face. I love everything about that. Yeah, I was laying on the ground and pretty low right there, pretty close to her because I had the wide angle on.
Yeah.
And actually that's cropped. To be perfectly honest with you, I wasn't going to edit that picture. I was going to toss it. I was going to toss it. So then I just and I will say this, when I have a picture like that, it's a social media picture. I'm not going to spend 45 minutes on that picture. To be honest with you, had I known that it would be so popular, I would have probably done a better job editing it. But if you look hard, you can see where I've cloned out some of the line. It's a little sloppy job because I knew that it would be fine for social media, so I'll pop it up there. And then all of a sudden, that was like one of my most popular pictures of the year. And I even printed it for the studio. It printed pretty. But I'm like, if I had known, I would have spent a little more time on that. But any model shoots, those are social media files. They're going to share it on Instagram. She's never going to print this picture. As much as I think it's adorable, she's not going to print this. You know what? She's coming for her senior pictures like next week. She's going to want those pictures that she brings her clothes for, that she picks the locations. She likes those just fine, but that's not. And I don't push that on anybody either. I feel like when they do their senior session, it is all about them. And I want it to be about them, what they love, what they wear. It's 100% about them. But they like to do stuff like that just for a break, just to, it's a little different. But that is nothing, like when they do their senior session, 100% it's about them. And I promise you, she probably won't even put that picture in her album, because she could. But I don't think she will because she never even posted it on her Instagram. She posted other ones. She posted the ones like under the tree and I also did some of her that evening on the bluff, and they were beautiful too. And that's the ones I ended up videoing, and they were really pretty, but she didn't, have the really deep sky and all that. That wasn't her favorite either. What's their favorite because it's what they post. And her profile picture is one where she's just in the trees, and that's okay. That's what she likes. That's okay.
Yeah,
and I like that too.
I see that one here now. These kids, they don't know anything.
I'm going to be honest with you. My son, his senior year, one of my favorite pictures of all time, and he's on the bluff and his Labrador's jumping up on him. It's still one of my favorite pictures. But my very favorite picture was a shot that I did natural light, and he's just sitting there looking at me and smiling. I'm like, I'm that mom too. I want to see my kid smiling. I want to see him happy, and I want to see his eyes twinkle because he's got that really pretty natural light going on. Mm-hmm. But I also love the bluff shot. I like everything. So, but
I think you make a really good point, and that I want to make here is that you didn't mean to make this point, but you say that you're doing this for your clients, and it's about the images that they want, and you listen to what they want, even though you want to do that other shot. Yeah, it's so important. Well, and I will say that it's so important to mix it up so you don't fry yourself out, but at the same time, you recognize the fact that you need to mix things up, but at the end of the day, the client is what's important to you, and getting her the shots that she wants is paramount, right?
Yes. Oh,
And
absolutely. It's really, we are just a tool. It's about them. This is their senior year. This is their senior portrait. We're just, I don't consider I'm not that important in the process. I just want them to be happy with their senior pictures, so yeah, it's all about them. Now, I agreed. I've kind of gotten to the point now, like the other day, a girl comes in and she's just beautiful, and her clothes are just very simple. So I started saying, "Oh my gosh, she had these beautiful blue eyes." So I pulled out this blue maxi dress with the mosaic background that I just got from Denny's. She loved it. I mean, it's not anything she would have picked, but she absolutely loved it. So she did. So she wore one of my dresses in front of that background. It was so pretty, and she's gonna love that. I mean, she probably will pick that because we did a constant light. Her eyes are really beautiful. But then we also did another backdrop that had like a flag stuff. And I put her in these little camo pants with a little crop top and a little cute hat. She sent that to her aunt. She lives with her aunt. She sent that to her aunt. Her aunt just loved it because it was so different than what she would used to do. She actually said that her aunt had told her, or that she said her aunt would say that I was the only one that could get her in that outfit. But she loved it. So even though it is all about them, I think it's also good to be like, hey, I know you just try this. You don't, you might not like it, you might, but just try it. Nobody has to see it if you don't like it, and just see and let them have a little bit, because she did. She was thrilled with it. She loved it. She was taking pictures on the back of my camera and sending it, to her aunt.
So, yeah, and along those lines, and Jen, you're going to laugh because I'm going to talk like I actually know anything about senior photography. But I just put a picture of a cheerleader, and she has the pom-pom here like this and the pom-pom here like that. And I'm laughing as I'm looking at the picture. It's a great shot, but one of the seniors that I photographed a couple weeks ago asked me to do this shot. And here, and I just, because I want you guys to see, so you know what I'm talking about, I'll take a picture on my screen and show it to you guys. So this shot, can you see that?
No, I see you.
I see you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That shot.
I can't see it. Blurry.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I did all these great shots of her, and that's the one she put on her profile. I was like, ah!
We have to. Sports are so important to them,
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to dismiss that, because that is so much a part of their senior year. It's a part of their senior experience. So they're always going to pick those sports shots because that's part of their identity.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
so I love those. I love them, and I always try to make sure that we get good. If they bring their sports stuff, I mean, we do it a little different, but yeah, they love those.
Yeah.
We have a couple more questions for you,
cool.
Shannon. So JJ's asking, so for a typical senior shoot, how many differing outfit options do you have them style, and do you provide a style guide?
That's a great question.
No style guide. Honestly, they just show up for their session and they bring in their clothes, and I spread them out on my couch, and I basically start going, this is outside, because honestly, I've been doing this so long that I can walk outside and I can start shooting, not metering. I know my settings, so I can look at their clothes. This is going to look good here. This is going to look good here. Blah blah blah. I just immediately, so I've actually got them in piles here. This. So we don't really do anything. I do offer that. I say, if you want to come up beforehand, we will talk. We will meet. But most people are so busy they don't have time. So no, they just bring their clothes. Did she say how many outfits?
How many outfits? Yeah. Do you how many?
I usually tell them typically about 5 is a good number, but bring up to 8, because I like to have variety. That way, because we haven't met, we haven't discussed it. If they show up with 8 pieces of clothing, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get something that's going to work. So, but 5 is usually what we use. For instance, the senior the other day, but now she was so good, and we were so quick. She pulled out 4 outfits from my style closet. So then she did another 4 or 5 of hers. We probably had 8 or 9 outfits, but like I said, I'm pretty efficient too, because I've got, set up here, I'm set up there.
Mm-hmm.
She actually chose a location that was 5 minutes down the road. So within 2 hours, a 2-hour session, we had 8 or 9 outfits, and we have great images. So, but typically 5 outfits is what I shoot for.
Okay.
And
That's awesome. Yeah, that's the same. I like talking to you about this because that's also what I do. You're just confirming things for me today, and I appreciate that.
I'm so glad we're able to help you, Jen.
Sue has a question. There's a reason I said I want Shannon on the show. I was being greedy. So Sue has a question. She said, are these part of your traditional senior sessions or more of a model call when you get an idea where you just go to your model team? So I think she's talking about the shots that we were looking at
Right.
earlier.
Most of those are either, I do 2 model shoots a year, and those are your 2 big shoots. So if you're on my model team, you're guaranteed that you get to participate in 2 model shoots a year. And of those model shoots, I edit a couple of pictures per girl. And I usually get like the web size, a couple of pictures. What was I going to say? So, but then throughout the year, I do mentor a lot. People come here. If I have a new background I want to try, that's when you get called in a little bit, I guess, special for things like that. So, like, say if I mentor somebody and I call in one of my models from the model team, so she knows if she comes, I usually give them about 5 to 10. If they stay all day with me, they're going to get about 10 images. So, some of that stuff, the crazier stuff, the steampunk, the stuff that's the disco was a mentor session, steampunk was a mentor session. So a lot of that stuff, most of that out there stuff is going to be either a model shoot or it's going to be they modeled for a mentoring session. So either one of those. So the more normal stuff is usually the senior sessions.
Gotcha. Very cool. Let's see. I think we have covered all the questions that we have on here.
Okay.
Jason, anything else from you?
No, we're an hour and 15 minutes. I think we can wrap things up here. This is amazing. Thank you for sharing all of this knowledge with us. I could just sit and scroll through it like as we're talking. All I've been doing is scrolling through Shannon's Instagram feed. And yeah, it's just amazing work. And for those of you who don't know, she's also one of the most popular mentors we have to do one-on-one sessions for the group. She is gotten amazing feedback. She does a great job of working with you guys. If you don't want to travel, she'll meet with you right here like you're seeing right now, but it'll just be the two of you. You can ask all the questions that you want about backgrounds, about lenses, questions about post-processing. Shannon is an open book, and she will deliver all the information that you want. So if you're looking for that, Jen, if you could do me a favor too, and leave a link to directly to her mentoring sessions,
yep,
her one-on-ones on the group. And yeah, this is great today. And if you guys have any questions, you can always ask on the group Facebook page. Or reach out to one of us, and at any point you're watching this down the road. But again, Shannon, thank you so much for.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And hopefully we'll be together sometime soon.
Hopefully.
And I hope sometimes.
Yeah, for real.
Yes. I will be seeing Jason next week. I guess we'll do are we going to do our show live next week from your place, Jay?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess we'll be together for that one. So
I guess so.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Right, that'll be weird.
Yeah. We're going to get your backdrop back up there, though.
Yeah, no. So I apologize. I couldn't find the A-clamps to hang it up. I've actually, so behind me, I've got some cabinets. Like, so this is like, I turned this into my office area, but it used to be literally it was like a woodworking shop. And if any of you know me, I'm not a woodworker at all. So I've been slowly converting this room into, and what I want to do is put up like shiplap or something back here and get rid of these cabinets. So actually, Jen, maybe you can help me take the cabinets off the wall next week.
Oh, good. I'm so excited to come visit you for a weekday. Yeah.
Just a little laugh. Huh?
I'm just thinking, just go to Denny's and get you a shiplap backdrop and just nail it on the wall.
That's probably
like
actually
that
not a
idea.
bad idea.
Yeah.
I like that idea a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm popping this link in our YouTube chat. I've got her link from the group. So you guys can book her directly on the group at that link that I just added in the chat.
Yes. All right. Okay. Thank you for being on this week's episode of Groups. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notifications so that we're going to be doing this every week now coming up. And if you guys have any suggestions, let us know too. Put that in the chat. I'll get a notification about that, and I really appreciate it. So have a great weekend, you guys. Peace.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
This is the part where Jason tries to end the stream.